Good evening, teacher. My name is Evelyn Quesada, and we are group number 10. We were talking about linguistic variation in the classroom. One of the most important variables is age. Students do not speak the same way depending on their stage of life. Young children tend to use simple language with short sentences and limited vocabulary as they are still in this process of acquiring the language. Teenagers incorporate expressions typical of their social group, using young slang, filler words, and even buzzwords that adults often do not understand. Adults tend to use a broader and more formal vocabulary with more elaborate structures because they have had more communicative and educational experiences. This means that age influences the level of complexity, vocabulary, and even the communicative styles that students bring to the classroom. As a teacher, we must recognize this difference in order to adapt our teaching strategies and promote understanding among all. Thanks.
Hi teacher, my name is Yajaira Salazar. Today I'm going to explain the factors that really influence the language community. The three variables, the gender, socioeconomic styles, and the language styles. The gender points and the use the language. For example, found the students who sometimes tell the one they use the more standard language. The point why the stems sometimes for informal expression. These that reflect and the gather expression and the role and the communication styles. The variable number two, the socioeconomic styles. And the socioeconomic styles and this is back to the why they speak. The people and their brags and the greater acts to formal education. While emphasis on the vocabulary and the pronunciation is the other language, the variables definitely under reflects to the group identity teacher. The variable number three, the language styles. The language style depends on the content on the audience. For example, why to the speak and the song and the friends and the academic presentation, while and the formal and the informal various skills and the social adaptation. Okay, teacher. In conclusions, is the different adaptation is important. The different factors is the socioeconomic and the factors influence the in the people in the communication the different communities.
Are they targets invariable? The videos of speech depends of the subject across the presence and relates to the method language your pronouns of the words which the reference. At the difference of the language directions of the index. At the words with can. I indeed the world the with your eye, with your eyes, shot with or what. At the subject with hair, for example, I think arts the mind I like. I can lead the with your prophets, the make prophets, the right, the 8%, the site. I take the might for the promise take different of the lead language. I reference in the terrors, the thoughts, the word with I told you, and the word the campus, the with top. Other references the variable I reference how the formatted the video sprite. For example, in the format the situation the night good morning teacher, a book is the format consists with the night good attitude so rehearsed helps with understanding a language child continue communication and the culture approaches interact and the subject rehearsed hierarchy and future understanding and the everyday need.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about two important types of linguistic variations that you will encounter as a future English teacher. First, we have code switching and regional variation. First, code switching. Code switching is when speakers alternate between two or more languages. Like you are speaking fluent in English and randomly you say words or switch to another language like Spanish. This is when students maybe are speaking in their local language that would be Spanish and switch to English to express an idea or more clear to the concept culturally. This is not a mistake, but it's useful strategy that helps them communicate and learn better as a teacher. It's important to recognize code switching as a learning tool, not something to discourage. And on the other hand, we have regional variation, refers to the different language base or geographic area, such as accent or their vocabulary or grammar. English has many regional variations, and students might speak different dialects or accents depending on their backgrounds. Understanding and respecting these environments where all students feel value, embracing regional variation, also enrich classroom discussions by bringing diverse perspective. In conclusion, recommendations and supporting these variations in the classroom helps build confidence and improve communication. Let's value linguistic diversity and strengthen that enrich learning for everyone. Thank you.
Hi, Master. My name is Veronica Leon. Today I'm going to talk about linguistic variable, focusing on language use. Linguistic variables are aspects of language that can change depending on the person, place, or situation. In other words, we don't always speak the same way, or words, expression, and even sentence and structure can vary depending on the context. When we talk about language use, we mean how people choose which word and what style of communication to use depending on the situation and the audience. For example, in the classroom, students usually speak more formally when presenting an assessment or answering a question from the teacher, using complex sentences and appropriate vocabulary. In contrast, when they are with friends in a group activity, they may use more informal or casual language, like saying cool instead of excellent, short tiny word, or using expressing a specific today group. This example shows how language use adapted to different situations and purpose. In education, understanding this is very important because it allows teachers to teach a student when it is appropriate to use formal or informal language and helps them develop more effective communication skills. It also helps a student because our of how they communication and how they can adjust their speech depending on the context. In summary, language use is a tool that allows you to adapt our communication or the audience and the situation. Thank you.